So with me and Johnno going to Clash of the Castle in about a week as this is being recorded, we decided why not rank every pay-per-view that we watched?
Yeah.
From 2013 to now. There's been some good ones.
Yeah.
And we're going to rank them. Now, I'm going to show you, we're going to have this hidden while we're talking, but this is going to come up now and again when we're actually doing it. But this will be the tier list. We got watchable, but no yeet. A good, great, and the whole of yeet.
I like it. Nice.
So, you ready to get started? First, we're going to talk about last year's Royal Rumble. We all know what happened with that one. That was when Sami finally turned.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns to Kevin Owens match. Brilliant match.
Yeah.
And with the chair saying, take Kevin, your best friend, out.
And he didn't. He took your tribal chief out.
And then he got absolutely super kicked to oblivion.
Yeah, they didn't like that, did they?
No. None of them did. And as we know, Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble that year for the first time.
He did. Yep. Cracking performance. Oh, yeah, he started from 30th, I remember, didn't he?
Yeah.
He came in quite near the end, so this year's performance, I'd say, was probably better. But
Gunther pretty much eliminated everyone by that point, so it was pretty much...
Yeah, so it was him and Gunther, and then Cody eliminated Gunther. Yeah, good performance. Everyone expected it for him to come out, and the main event to be against Roman. That was quite a build-up.
Rhea Ripley destroyed everyone in the women.
Yeah. She destroyed everyone to take on. She started quite early, didn't she? She started.
She either started first or second.
Yeah, she started right at the start and then went right to the end and demolished everyone.
And had the record for most eliminations.
Yeah. And then she took. She used that to take on Charlotte Flair, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
So all in all, good Royal Rumble that.
It was, yeah, it's good.
I'm not sure quite Hall of Yeet. I think there's better matches.
Yeah, it is definitely better PLEs, but yeah, it's definitely up there. So I should bring up the list.
Great or good? That's the question.
Let's put it in good for now, and then we can come back to it. Actually, no, great. Sami Zayn turned. It has to be great.
Yeah, and then we have the epitome of the Bloodline story, where everyone thought this should be the moment where Roman Reigns drops the title. Now we had better times after this, but at this particular moment in time, everyone said now was the time for Roman to drop his title. Montreal, Canada, in front of Sami Zayn's people. He got motivated by Cody before that, saying, "I want to fight. I get to fight the champion at WrestleMania. I want it to be you, Sami."
Arguably, I reckon it was up there for match of the year last year, definitely. Sami gave it his all. Couldn't obviously interference by a Bloodline as you expected. That cost and made him lose. We all expected that. Story of your tribal chief's era.
Exactly.
Bloodline interference. But yeah, cracking match. And then that set up to go into actually the tag, them going after the tag titles after that with Kevin Owens. So,
and I believe the Elimination Chamber that year was just for the US title, so it wasn't as
yeah. So it was the Chamber match wasn't great, but I think you've got to put it in. I'd just say great just because of that one match, but it's hard.
Yeah, I think that you can make a case for just good with this one because it's mainly just. I think we just put it here.
Yeah.
Just the main event carried the entire thing, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because you also had Kevin Owens showing up as well to kind of help with around that.
Yeah, and then obviously that's that. Them going after the Usos and winning the title, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
And then the build up afterwards, moving on into WrestleMania. We had a few
Yeah.
SmackDowns to build up that friendship. And now we go into
Yeah.
night one of WrestleMania 39,
Yeah.
where they become friends and they're fighting the Usos. Arguably,
Yeah.
night one of WrestleMania 39 better than night two.
It did, yeah. I'd agree with that. But I think that was always the plan to build up to WrestleMania 40. I reckon, like, I still reckon that it was part of the storyline with The Rock and all that. And it was always going to be Cody finishes the
Night one,
story.
because in night one we had matches. We had that tag team showcase where I'm going to be talking about him a bit in this, but Chad Gable, brilliant as a tag team.
Yeah.
We also had the US title match between John Cena and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
John Cena lost after hugging a few.
Funny story about
Make-A-Wish kids.
Funny story about that, because you know they trial matches at the end of SmackDown for the dark matches, what they're going to do. The dark match, which I'm sure we'll talk about later when I went to the SmackDown before Money in the Bank, the dark match was Rey Mysterio versus AJ.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
And that eventually became the
US
title match.
Yeah. They always try these feuds out in the dark.
Yeah, because they always have matches that are not quite the feud at the time, usually. Just to test out later down the line storyline chemistry.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had that match. We also had KSI in a prime bottle on night one.
That was brilliant.
Getting frog splashed by Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's such a good segment when he gets moved by.
We had the three members of Damage Control versus Becky Lynch and her two partners.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus and.
Yeah, it's great. I reckon it goes in great. I don't know.
And then you have arguably the best women's match you could honestly say of the year in Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley as well.
You know what? I'm putting night one in G.
That's what I'm saying. You have that, and you have the greatest tag match I have ever seen in Sami and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. And I believe that main event was helped also by Michael Cole going, "No one kicked out of the 1D. How?"
Yeah,
his delivery.
I argued that was definitely. We were talking about the Sami match. That was definitely a contender for match of the year.
That's what I'm saying. And it wasn't even on the list to vote for match of the year. Like, why?
And so was the women's match. Yeah. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
None of them were even nominated really for like match of the year. I'm like, how? For these dreamies. Then we have night two.
Nah.
Which wasn't as great.
Yeah, it was alright, but nowhere near night two, I think.
You had Brock Lesnar versus Omos on night two, which was just big man versus big man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think not.
You had Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor in the cage match, which was a good match, but the wrong person won that.
Yeah.
Edge should not have won that feud.
I think there was a lot of booking mistakes in night two. I think it could have been booked a lot better night two.
And you have Asuka, who just always loses at WrestleMania, losing again.
Now what I know now after obviously WrestleMania 40 I probably think the Cody decision was right. Obviously, a lot of people question Cody losing to Roman from, guess what? Solo Sikoa. But a lot of people questioned that, and rightly so at the time. But after what it built up to in 40, I think that was the right decision.
Arguably on night 2, the best match wasn't the main event. It was the triple threat between Gunther, your Intercontinental Champion, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. Stole that.
Yeah,
That show.
I'd agree. Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm actually going to make the first controversial decision here, Jonah. And I'm just going to put this in good. Night 2.
I'm going to put it in no yeet. I'm going to put it in no yeet.
Oh, no yeet. You're making it even. Okay, we're going more controversial here. We're going to go more.
Night 1 was a lot better.
Yeah, because I think only one match doesn't save this from going, doesn't help this go up here.
Yeah.
And now we have Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. And you also had Kevin, you had the Usos and Solo versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle.
Yeah. I'm going to put that in no yeet. Nah, it didn't do it for me, that one.
Well, I'm mad. I thought it was good. Especially that the other matches, yes, but that Bad Bunny match with the crowd.
Yeah, Bad Bunny match. Yes, but it was good.
And Rey Mysterio with Carlito return, all those like the pop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think good. Actually, yeah.
So we're gonna put that in good. Just for the main event was just the crowd. If we were rating crowds, Hall of Eat for the crowd.
Yeah.
We're rating the card, so don't get annoyed at us, Puerto Rico. It's just the matches themselves. Crowd would be up here.
Yeah, definitely.
And next we have Night of Champions. The first time Sami Zayn was able to actually go back to Saudi Arabia. He was banned before that for political reasons.
Yep. This was the day Roman broke the 1,000-day champion reign thing.
Yeah, but this time he was not defending it. He was going for the tag. He said, "The Usos, I've had enough of you. Me and Solo are actually going to hold on to these titles."
But they didn't.
And they kind of screwed up by Jimmy decided to go in and help.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay, but then they accidentally super kicked. First of all, they accidentally took out Solo, and then Roman saw this and pushed him to the point where they then super. Jimmy then says, "Screw it." And we'll get back to why this was a terrible decision later on because it becomes terrible. But Jimmy's the one. Now, I'm going to bet Jimmy's the one that super kicks Roman twice.
Yeah.
Jay wanted nothing to do with it. Jimmy's the one that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
And made Sami and Kevin retain.
And then they did a flippity flip, and Jay was the one who didn't want anything to do with them. And Jimmy. Yeah. Strange booking, but
Night of Champions is always a good. It was a good card.
Yeah.
With this, when you get to Saudis, the women's matches are never really.
I think, except for the last one, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, that I think that was a decent. The women's match now was decent, but this one, yeah, again, no. I don't think you can put it any above good.
This was the second match in the Brock Lesnar feud.
Yeah, the Brock Lesnar with Cody. Yeah, that was a good match. Yeah, that whole feud with Cody was really good. It was the third one that Cody won, and then he.
Yeah. This was the one
Yeah.
where he got choked out. They had the first
Yeah.
one in Backlash, and they had
Yeah.
this one where Cody lost this one.
Yeah.
You had the crowning of Seth frickin' Rollins as your world heavyweight champion in this one.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was good. It was a good card. It set up obviously Seth to really build that
I don't
title.
think you can go higher than good for this one, but it was a good one.
Yeah. This one though, money.
And then we have the one where Johnno actually half appeared in.
Yeah,
He went to the SmackDown. He went to the SmackDown before this.
I wish I could have went to both nights, especially what happened in the main event. But yeah, great card. I'm gonna go quite high up on this one. I think great. Yeah, it's a great card. Yeah, I don't have any complaints with the card at all, really. Obviously, Jay getting the pin on Roman again.
Which he said when they had like that thing on, but you were there in the SmackDown where they said, when's the last time he got pinned 3 years ago? When's the next time he get pinned tomorrow night? Ironically, by the same person that pinned him 3 years prior.
Yeah. It's too bad he can get it done at SummerSlam, but on the singles match. But
and the ladder match is pretty good, where it looked like in some moments the crowd cheering on LA Knight, he looked like he was going to win it. Logan looked like he was going to win it, but then the Priest became Senior Money in the Bank.
Senior Money in the Bank.
And you had Io Sky
10 years
to
and then took about 10 years to cash in.
Matt Riddle had he got a match for the IC title and got absolutely destroyed by Gunther.
Yeah, but
we have the first of many matches between Seth and Finn Balor.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Which arguably everyone wanted Finn to win. This is going to be a running theme of Seth Rollins' title defenses. That the crowd actually wanted Finn to win, but Seth won. Because it was his first title defense, so it's kind of.
I really enjoyed the Seth run. If you compared him to like Roman, he was where Roman. I think he had like so many more defenses in such a short amount of time, where Roman had like 4 matches last year, and it was like title defenses. And in that time, I think I don't know how many Seth had, but a lot of matches. And he was injured for half that time, and he just kept on going. We knew he needed that operation for so long, and he just kept booking it off because he wanted to keep the title until obviously Mania, which we'll get into later. But yeah, great card. Great, except for the Intercontinental match, which I was a bit disappointed in. I'd say great card.
Exactly.
I don't understand what. And obviously he's been sacked by the company now. I don't understand what he done to earn a shot at the IC title. I think there was a lot better people in the conversation than him, personally.
Yeah, and after winning the thing, he actually ruined. That was actually the start of where Damian Priest actually ruined Finn Balor's title match at Money in the Bank there.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a bit of tension there.
But all in all, where are we putting this in?
I think great. I think if it had a better opponent for the Intercontinental match, I would say Yeet.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that
And you had Mommy kind of forcing Dominic into a feud with Cody.
Yeah.
Because Cody didn't have Brock at this win because Brock decided to disappear for a bit.
Yeah,
And then we build up to SummerSlam.
indeed.
Where at good old SummerSlam, we had another match between Seth and Finn.
Yeah,
And Seth didn't
and
win.
another match between Cody and Brock. Cody finishing the story with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar giving him the hug at the end.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar disappearing forever since then.
We had the triple threat between Asuka, who was the champion at this point, versus Charlotte Flair and Bianca.
Yeah, it's a good match. Yeah, it's a good match.
Where Io cashes in at the end of that.
Yep. Yeah. And then Io becomes champion.
You had Ronda Rousey's last ever WWE match. Everything she's then shat on the company.
Tag match, and she turns on. No, she did. No, was it that?
We had the tag match before this, and the thing before.
Yeah, it was the tag match before that when they turned, and then they faced each other for the last match, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Zoe Stark won. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was a good match.
And then you had Tribal Combat, which I have no idea what Tribal Combat means, because it certainly became not Tribal Combat. Because I remember them saying that Tribal Combat meant that none of them could interfere with the match, and then suddenly, everyone's interfering again. I'm like, what is a Tribal Combat for this?
Yeah, I think we just have to accept now any rules on that if the Bloodline make rules, it just means anything goes.
Although I will also bring back even though Cody won it, Cody should have been disqualified against Brock Lesnar. It was not a no DQ match. And Cody grabs the steps and chucks it at Brock Lesnar in front of the ref, and the ref continues the match. That's a DQ.
Yeah.
But this Tribal Combat was not a great match. A decent match. Then was ruined by Jimmy pulling him away for no reason.
Yeah.
When he's the one that didn't want Bro. And he's the one that got hospitalized before that by Roman and Solo a few weeks before that.
His words, I don't want you to become like him.
Which makes no sense. For motivation.
But that started a tale of Jimmy.
So just for that,
defenses.
Just honestly for that alone, it's being dropped down to just good.
Yeah, it was a great match, but yeah, it got wrecked by interference. We all love Jey Uso. I don't think anyone expected him to win that match anyway in his first title defense. But it was a great match. But I think the way it ended wasn't great.
Yeah, so I'm just putting that in good just because the ending kind of spoiled the PLE to me.
Yeah.
Now that could just be me being picky, but it spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
And then we have Payback. This was kind of the start of the whole. There was a lot of building up to this where most Raw main events were the Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
It became a meme for a while that it was always a 6-person tag match. The Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and whatever third member was available that week. The team with them.
And you just rotated the Judgment Day members versus single matches against them too as well. And it was just like,
Exactly. It was always Judgment Day versus one of the tag champs. Or at least the tag champs.
Yeah. Who eventually they won it, but yeah.
On and off.
What do you think?
And with a JD McDonough now popping in and out every so often at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to be friends with them.
Yes, it's just as he's trying to get into the Judgment Day, yeah.
It was a good tag match, though, between... Now, the Judgment Day did win at this one.
Yeah.
But it was a good match.
Yeah.
Hosted by John Cena.
Yeah.
Came back as a host. This is when the actor strike was happening, so John Cena had nothing better to do, so he showed up to the hostess.
Yeah. And then called for WrestleMania in London.
He did do that. Maybe they'll get a SummerSlam before that. There is talks of that.
Yeah.
It was a very short card for this. We had the match between Austin Theory and Rey Mysterio. The rematch, because he just wanted a match back to get his title back. Didn't. Rey Mysterio retains.
Yeah.
And this one, as we know, the Judgment Day won their match.
Yeah.
To become new tag champs. Seth defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. This is when Shinsuke started becoming bad guy Shinsuke, manga villain that never won a match.
And repeating the same feuds.
Rhea retained against Raquel Rodriguez.
I made it quite known on. I put a statement out the other day that I think for his career he should move on, maybe go to AEW or something. I think his character's got really stale on WWE.
Exactly. You had the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes, where he announced. I think this is where he announced main event Jey Uso to Raw.
Yeah.
Where Grayson Waller wanted to protect the trees, his own trees, but he didn't let Jey Uso talk, so Jey Uso clobbered him and the trees.
Yep.
And then we had The Miz versus LA Knight. Back when we still hated The Miz.
Yeah.
And special guest referee John Cena.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
I think it was a good card.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think it's anything above good.
But, yeah, I don't think you can put it into this because at the end of the day, it is a B pay-per-view. And the only thing really that stood out was the tag match.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Which was always going to be because it was a street fight. Stupidly, they made it a street fight.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is like, oh, we'll get it on our own terms by doing a street fight. Kevin, there's more of them than there is you, so I don't know why your own terms is a street fight.
Yeah. I think the next one, for one reason alone, Fastlane, and for one reason only, that can only go in Yeet, and that is drunk Cody Rhodes and drunk main event Jey Uso.
Yeah, they had a tag match against Judgment Day. They won the tag titles. They were told that they weren't going to be doing an interview. According to Cody Rhodes, who revealed afterwards, they were told they weren't told about having to do. Usually, after a match, you get told that you're having a press conference. They weren't told anything, so they assumed that they weren't. So they got very, very drunk.
And it was
then made to do a press conference. To which we got his catchphrase, yeet.
Yeah.
Where they both kept saying yeet, and she's been here since both our daddies.
Yep. Definitely.
We also had LA Knight and John Cena versus the Bloodline in Jimmy and Solo.
Yep. Yeah.
Where John Cena was only there to do the hot tag to elevate LA Knight into that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good event, to be fair.
Yeah, and we had the last man standing match between Shinsuke and Seth. My only problem with last man standing matches, John, the bad guy knocks down the good guy about 50 times.
Yeah.
You know, and they always get back up like at 9. But the good guy only needs to knock down the bad guy twice.
Yeah.
To finally put them out.
Yeah.
Well, then it's the only negative
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but yeah, decent card. But as I say, I'm putting it in the 8 for Drunk Cody and his main event. Yeah, so we need to see that tag team again one day.
Oh yeah, also in this one we weirdly had Bobby Lashley and Street Profits because they were trying to be heels, even though no one's gonna boo Bobby Lashley versus Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Mystery Partner, which turned out to be Carlito.
Yeah, where are you on the booking of it though? Like, obviously, I loved them winning the tag titles, but for them to drop it straight away.
Yeah, the next day, the next Raw title events.
Yeah,
they dropped it. I think it was terrible booking decision afterwards. It's up here just because of the press conference, but I think to have them drop it straight away. It just all it was used for was to have a stare down between Jimmy and Roman for like one SmackDown.
Yeah. Weird.
And to start the whole craze of Jimmy ruining every match that Jay had for a title.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next we have Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel. Roman Reigns versus
LA Knight.
LA Knight.
The main event.
Yeah. I was about to say Logan Paul, but that's the other Crown Jewel.
That's the other Crown Jewel where Logan was the table.
Yeah. But yeah, good match. And obviously we knew he wasn't going to win it because of the storyline building up to it. But yeah, he gave a good match. Decent feud. Yeah, he never gave the bad match LA Knight, and more
the crowd
interference in the
surprisingly
bloodline.
loved him. I wasn't expecting the crowd to love LA Knight that much.
They always love LA Knight. Yeah.
And we also had the match between one of the many matches between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre.
Yep. Building up, obviously, to eventually him winning the title. But
you also had Sami Zayn kicked off to the pre. She was relegated to the pre-show for this one against JD McDonough.
Yeah.
He also robbed the briefcase at some point in this match.
He did, yes. That was quite funny. Yeah, it was quite funny when he nicked the briefcase. Before he could
cash in on set, Sammy just came up and just ran with it out of the building.
Yeah.
You had Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio almost murdering himself because they mistimed a move in that match.
Yeah.
Because they weren't used to their styles and they both mistimed their positionings.
Yeah. Right.
It led Logan to do a very quick maneuver to make up for it. To stop Rey Mysterio hitting his head open.
Yeah, a lot of people criticize him, but he's so good. He's so athletic.
No, you have to make that because that's a very quick. As Logan said, he believes they both messed up that spot, but he had to make that last ditch thing to make up for them both messing up.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Logan coming out
retained against 4 other people. It was a fatal 5-way as well.
Logan. Before we do it, Logan winning the United States Championship in that match.
It wasn't a great match for the United States Championship, but we all knew who was going to win it. He just won it with brass knuckles, the first of many brass knuckles.
Yeah, definitely.
And but it was left by Santos Escobar in the ring.
Yeah.
Then you also had John Cena putting over immensely Solo Sikoa, and this is what Solo Sikoa at his most best, where you look like, damn, this is a monster that's going to go and win a lot more matches now. He just defeated John Cena.
Yeah.
This man is going to totally
then he didn't lose in
every single match after no, he lost every match. What do you mean he lost every match?
He literally lost every match for about 50 matches straight after this match. Yeah, really weird booking that. But we've now got to believe he is our tribal chief.
You also had the debut of my favorite wrestler in Kairi Sane
Yeah.
in this one, helping
Yeah.
Io win. A terrible decision to make her debut in a crowd that really was not there for the women's matches that day.
Yeah.
Now, the
Yeah.
other Saudi crowd for Night of the Champions more into the women than this particular place in Saudi.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we're going to see that in the next when we get to King and Queens, that particular country more into the women than that particular city more into the women than the one that was used in Crown Jewel.
Yeah, definitely.
They had no reaction to Kairi Sane's debut.
No.
Or the Fatal Five-Way, which was a brilliant match. So
Yeah,
if we were rating crowd, it would even be below No Yeet.
Yeah, definitely. Where are we going to go? I'm going to go good.
Yeah. I'm going to... We'll keep in mind these are not in orders because this will be like probably a different set of things. I'm just putting them in there.
Survivor Series War Games.
We go into a feisty Drew McIntyre feuding with Judgment Day, but then he gets offered to join Judgment Day because he's also feuding with Seth.
Yeah.
He also hates Jey Uso, so it's kind of...
Yeah.
And Sami and Seth are kind of warming up to Jey Uso.
Yeah. The return of a few people in this as well.
At this point, Kevin Owens is well on SmackDown. He's been traded. Sami has no friends.
Yeah. Randy Orton in this match as well, coming back from injury after 18 months
he was added after Drew was added. They made the numbers 5-4.
Yeah.
They made it look like Randy wasn't appearing all night.
Yeah.
To the point where they were even going to do a cash-in before Randy showed up.
Yep. And Team Cody got the job done, though.
They did. Randy Orton, RKO JD McDonough off the top of the cage.
Yep. But this match wasn't the most talked about thing. Even for Randy Orton coming back after 18 months, it wasn't the most talked about return, was it?
No, the match ended. We had the trademark thing. We're all like, that was a great thing. Chicago was chanting for CM Punk all night, and they did that deliberately because they made it look like Randy Orton wasn't showing up, and everyone's like, oh, maybe CM Punk's going to show up. And then everyone's like, no, he's not showing up. It's good. Even if we don't get CM Punk, it's been a good event. Yeah. What the hell? CM Punk's music just hit. The fuck?
Yeah. The crowd goes mad. CM Punk walks out.
To his home crowd. Seth very angry.
Seth looks very angry. I'm sure that will be a future feud.
As they were told, as no one actually knew CM Punk was going to be there because it was a very apparently last-minute signing just before that
day. On the day. It was on the day they got it done. Drew not very happy as well. Started the feud with Drew McIntyre straight away because they hate each other.
And then you had like the whole... That was a very good match. Also, the other match was very good. Damage Control versus Becky's team.
Yeah.
Where it was basically everyone from SmackDown and Becky.
Yeah.
You had that entire thing where it's just like interesting.
Yeah. It's an interesting match.
I thought it was a good match. I arguably would have given Damage Control the win because we never really given them a strong win. Damage Control, we still haven't to this day given Damage Control a proper victory.
Yeah, that was the new improved multi-person Damage Control with more people.
Exactly. But yeah, good match. Good match.
Yeah, I think for the returns of Randy Orton and then obviously specifically CM Punk as well, I'm gonna go yay!
Oh yeah, I think you just have to put it up there just for the returns alone,
Yeah.
and for the shock return of CM Punk just being there.
Yeah.
I think the matches were quite good as well.
Yeah, it was a good
That's the
card.
series.
I enjoyed it.